happy to welcome licensed professional counselor, clinical director, co-founder of Healing Springs Ranch, licensed professional counselor over 25 years. I call this 2 hours of therapy every morning. Melissa Caldwell Engle, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm lying on the couch. What do I say?
Tell us how you feel.
Are you asking me for directions?
I'm so frustrated with this, Melissa. There's so many inconsistencies. I've got the CDC saying one thing. I've got the WHO saying another. I've got controlling government officials that won't let me live my life. I'm so tired and what do I do?
Well, yeah, don't get me started on the inconsistencies. But let's talk about how to manage stress, right? Because inconsistencies are very stressful.
First of all, to keep talking, you can't be from you're from somewhere else. Where are you from originally?
No, I'm from Dallas. I'm from the Dallas area.
Man, that accent's got it going on now. And Texas is where I'm moving. I'm going to get my truck and come to Texas because that's about... Anyway, go ahead. Start on this. How do I deal with anxiety? Because 100 million people in the United States out of 330 million have anxiety problems and a lot of prescription medicine right now.
Well, what we've seen, because I've been doing this long enough, that I've watched when we have national crises, like after 9/11, what we can expect to see is anybody, which is going to be a lot of people, and we have to look at ourselves. If you have any unresolved or stuff that you've just not dealt with from the past that has any kind of fears or insecurities or hurts that you've kind of pushed down, what happens when something like this happens is it opens the door on all the stuff from your past that you've never dealt with. So your emotions are compounded with stressful situations like this. So people are not just dealing with their current situation, but they're actually dealing with their current and all the past unresolved situations that they have suppressed. So you'll see a rise in anxiety, depression, PTSD. You'll see more people struggling with addiction, whether it's drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography, shopping addictions, gambling addictions. You'll see a lot more addictive patterns that kick in when people get stressed out and overwhelmed. And that's what we're seeing.
Well, and it's very serious. I don't know if the people, and again, I keep lamenting on this one thing, and I know people are sick of it, but the people that make all these critical life decisions for me are not financially stressed. And I think there's a big difference when a government official, knowing there's no financial insecurity or food insecurity, calmly says, gosh, there's too many of these, we better lock it down, not knowing the impact of child abuse and domestic violence and addiction and anxiety and complete breakdown of the family. I don't think they're considering all that as much as they should.
Well, this is called trying to manage feelings of helplessness, and there's no feeling that can create more stress than feeling helpless. And part of learning how to live life, and it's not easy, we all have to work on this, right, is recognizing what we can control and what we can't control and how to manage and navigate through that without it just destroying your mind and your body. So it's going to take a lot of introspection. And if you feel the stress mounting through your rapid breathing or your heart rate going up or having anxiety attacks, you need to pay attention to what your body is saying, because that stress response is cortisol and adrenaline. That is the normal response to fight or flight. And if we continuously put ourselves in that state, it affects our digestive system, our immune system, our reproductive system, our ability to think straight. So it breaks down our body physically and emotionally. If you find yourself overreacting or being really shut down or even struggling with thoughts of suicidality or hopelessness, you've got to talk to somebody. Turn off the TV. Stop the news from coming in. Not your radio. I'm not saying anything about the radio.
No. Sometimes I need a break from me, too, so it's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
I mean, you need to limit the stressors coming in and go talk to somebody. Look at ways to take care of yourself, relaxation strategies. I mean, this is a time to really start paying attention to how you're feeling and what you're thinking and reach out for help.
Isn't it time to destigmatize the I'm going to talk to somebody thing that we have in this country because people think we're crazy and we'll shoot them? We are in need of discussion with a mental health care person. Probably half the people in the country could probably use a good talking.
I would say all of us can stand to better our ways of managing stress, every single one of us. So, yes, this needs to be kind of like a mental health awareness year, I guess, because there's not enough attention that is given to that. And we're not taught this in schools. And unless you come from a home where your parents are very skilled at teaching you this, we don't always know how to manage stress. So, yes, we need to be talking to someone, and we can destigmatize mental health and addictions if we manage this in a good way.
We're going to need some getting out of this thing, and it's going to probably take some, because I argue there's going to be a core of people that will never be able to not wear a mask. It might not be logical, but that's what and I don't know if they're going to get over it unless they do talk to Melissa Caldwell Engle. So,
yes, sir.
It's a serious thing.
No, I agree.
Going on today. Okay, how do people connect with you? How would they find you? You do these things via teleconference or something, don't you?
Yes, sir. Well, yes. And we also, Healing Springs Ranch is a treatment facility for anyone who is struggling with any kind of addictive patterns. And depression, you can get kind of caught in an addictive cycle with depression, but we treat any addictions. So HealingSpringsRanch.com. You can look us up and learn about our facility.
Well, good for you. I mean, it's a tough time. I'm probably praying every other hour at least, and it's helping me a lot because there's stuff I can't carry all this going on.
Yes, and we can't control it all, and we have to learn if you have faith. I mean, you bring up a very good point. If you have faith and you have a connection with something greater than yourself, that is something that's very helpful in times like this. And this is where it's going to ask us to draw on our inner strength, our inner faith, and it's going to ask us to go deeper as people as we manage the stress of all of this.
Can you deal with this, Melissa, or do you need to talk to somebody from time to time?
Oh, we always talk to people. We need to always talk to someone and surround yourself with people that are not reactive and not getting caught in their fears. Yeah. I just surround myself with good people that can help me stay ahead of my fears. Because there's plenty of people that can feed into that fear too, so you have to be careful of that.
Well, I tell you what, that's a really, really good point. Surrounding yourself with people, because man, you were on the wrong people. It's gonna make it worse. You're saying I don't like being around so and so because they're so negative. Well, now it's even worse, and you don't want to be around that.
I agree, absolutely.
Okay, one more time. How do we find you?
Healing Springs Ranch in Tioga, Texas.
Thanks for the session on free, too. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's Melissa, again, HealingSpringsRanch.com. I find myself being way too judgmental and not compassionate. And, I just want to wring someone's neck when they're not going outside and they're just watching the news too much.
Well, some people want to wring your neck. Some people want to wring your neck for going outside. But think about, we have
it's just like we go from 1 to 10 so easily.
Well, we have a people that drive around Champaign, Urbana that with like a notepad, and they're snitching on people that aren't doing it right.
That's right.
What kind of life is that?
I don't know.
And they just think they're so irresponsible. I don't even know the latest on what happened to that Muhammad, prom. But talk about judgy.
Yeah.
It might have been a bad decision. But boy, I'm telling you, the wool.
So glad you talked me down, Stevie. I almost did that in my backyard with my seniors.
I was adamant on that one.
But see, I
said, don't do that.
I had it in my head, though, the little pockets of 10 or less.
Yeah,
I was going to be in restrictions.
Yeah, it's like nobody's going to hug in baseball. Nobody's going to spit in baseball. Right. Spit in baseball. Right.